men and convert them. That is what Nii Noi is trying to say. Okay. But the story goes on to say, when we are confined to our audience, that is the church, how do we win souls? We need to take the scheme seriously, and even when built to perform, we must consider it as a platform for winning souls. Also, during the TGMA, when we solicit for votes to win a category, grace the red carpet, and again get the chance to perform, they should be a reflection of our Christian values. This morning we'll have a conversation with Nii Noi, but the final paragraph of the story says this is because they help win souls for Christ. We should attach seriousness to some of the things like we attach to all other programs in the gospel space. For instance, if you get a slot to perform, have it at the back of your mind that you're performing at a crusade to win souls for Christ. It's not about your brand, it's about brand of Jesus. So mount the stage and make Jesus proud, he noted. Nii Noi is here on the line with us. Let's try and get Nii Noi this morning and have a conversation with him. He's off the line. We want to ask him because I think I did a similar thing and then the Area 4 came at my neck.
Oh, Area 4?
Yes.
Who are Area 4?
If you classify in a proper context. Well, I have Nii Noi here. Chairman.
Hey, DJ Slim.
former one leg of the Table of Men.
Now, former one leg, former member of Table of Men. No.
The table gave many legs, so you were one of the legs.
Oh, but I said the other legs there. So
are they still active?
I can't speak for them. I'm no more part.
So. But haven't you seen them online?
Oh, I can't speak for them.
Don't you see their footprints online? Are they still not advocating for gospel music?
Oh yeah, I've seen that Christianity speaks for them.
Oh, okay. Very soon we'll have you in the studio and we'll dive into matters of the Table of Men. But how are you doing, my brother?
Good morning, senior. How are you?
Everything cool over here.
Yeah. Good morning to Emmanuel Kwame Dazi. We are, and I think I them. Good morning to them.
Oh, they all give you the nod, say then they listen to you. But then, with respect to the TGMA and advocating for gospel artists to be more involved in the process, what informed this decision?
So I got a call for graphic showbiz for an interview. I mean, I'm pretty sure from the concerns that was raised on the 26th edition of the TGMA on the participation of our gospel artists in promoting the award, in performance and everything. And I'm sure that's why they called to seek some clarity. And I gave some clarity. You see, it's important that we take the awards very, very seriously. And the major mandate of Christians or gospel artists is Mark 16:5, go into the world and win souls for Christ. And in winning souls for Christ, we need every platform to win souls for Christ. We just not to be confined to the crusades or the church buildings. We need to win souls everywhere. And when you look at benefits of awards to gospel artists, they all even come to that main core mandate of winning souls. So if you're a gospel artist and you've been nominated for an award, the award scheme helps you to get a broader audience reach. And getting a broader audience reach means that you are generating more media coverage for your gospel, for your music. And your music in particular is to win souls. So it's to win souls. If you are being nominated, it increases your networking opportunities. You go, you meet a lot of people that can enhance your music. And what is your music for? It's to win souls. You understand? If you are booked for a performance, you are given a platform to share your faith, to share gospel music. And Slim, I'm sure when you even open your lines right now to every person listening to me, and you ask the person, what is even the topic that was preached Sunday in church? They can't remember. But they can remember lines of a music that was sung 10 years ago. So it means that music is very powerful. It's very spiritual. And gospel music, for that matter, can even win souls than the word. And when you carry that out well, every platform you see, you add this importance to it. So it's a platform to share faith, where you are booked for performances. It's a platform to make everybody, over 3,000 people on TV, is a platform to share your faith. And what is the ending goal? Is to win souls for Christ. So to me, I think that we need to understand this book very well and take it important.
Did you realize that some of the gospel artists that were nominated the year under review were quite lethargic towards promoting the scheme and also putting out their works to amass votes? Did you realize some of that?
Yes, I realize some of that, but I don't know their reasons.
You don't know their reasons?
No, I don't know their reasons.
I would want to establish a fact here. What's the relationship between yourself and Team Eternity?
Oh, Team Eternity, I'm sure because I'm in the space and they see me as one of the people in the space. At times they come for me for advice, and I remember when they released a testimony album and it was #1 on Apple Music and all of that. They came to me for advice and all of that. So yes, I know them, but I'm not part of the team.
You are not part of the team, and you are not even in management position.
No, I'm not in management position.
Okay, so you can't confirm or deny any of the rumors that I'm getting right now.
No, I can't confirm or deny.
Oh, okay. But have you heard that it's been put out there that the team, there are issues within the team? There's been some form of split happening in the team. Have you heard that? Intimatity. Have you heard that?
You're telling me for the first time.
Okay, so have you also heard?
I know they are preparing to go to UK for a gig. I don't know about this plate or whatever you're saying.
Okay, there's also this rumor out there about Team Eternity refusing to perform at the TGMA, and their main reason has to be that they believe the stage is ungodly. Have you heard that?
They were booked last year to perform.
Yes, and they refused at the last hour.
Yes, and something came up. And this year...
What came up?
Oh, they issued a statement, and they said, unfortunately, issues beyond their control. So, I mean, I'm using that statement to say something came up beyond their control. So, something came up. And this year, I understand that, there were some discussions, but, there was no conclusion. So, I can also speak to why they didn't mount the stage, whether they believe it's ungodly. No, I can't speak to that. Okay.
There are rumors around Team Eternity. Let me finish with that before I jump to Jometto as well.
Slave. But why are you asking me Team Eternity? You go ahead.
Nii Noi?
Yes, yeah. Go on. Let's go.
It's also been alleged that one of their pastors told them not to, specifically with respect to TGMA, not to mount the stage. Have you also heard that?
You're telling me for the first time.
Okay. With respect to Jometto, he actually did an interview with TV3, and he said that there's going to be a time in the near future where he's going to bow out of the scheme. Have you seen that article?
Yeah, I've seen the article.
And have you reacted to that? Have you had contact or made any call to Jometto to find out exactly his reason?
We've spoken about it, but I don't think it's in bad taste. I think that if you look at the line of questioning, when they got there, I mean, it was one of those things to make you understand that, okay, the scheme has been, and before he even answered that question, he said the scheme has been too helpful to him. The scheme has helped his brand. The scheme has, increased his audience reach and all of that, all for the faith. And he's saying that, looking at how the whole thing is, maybe sometime to come, he might do a formal, plea that he doesn't want to be part. But maybe when that time comes, he'll give proper reasons. But I'm sure for now, this is how we've spoken about it. But maybe when that time comes, maybe a proper communique will come.
When you say a proper reason, that means the reason that he gave on TV3 wasn't really, or didn't really cut it for you, or you still believe there should be?
No, it's not about me. It's about the audience. It's about people like you that we don't understand well. So maybe proper explanation, let me say, will come out. But for now, I think that the reason he's given, let's take that reason. But it's not time now. So when that time comes, and I'm not praying for that time to come, but when that time comes, a proper explanation will be given.
I understand where you're coming from, and I mean, based on what we read this morning.
Make sure Kwame Dazi has asked me a question.
No, Kwame Dazi, he's writing a couple of things down. So, with what we read this morning, Nii Noi, if you are to sit down with Jometto and advise him based on what we read this morning, what would you say?
Well, I think I'll advise him to stay in the scheme, and the scheme has been too helpful for him. The scheme has helped build this audience appeal, give him platforms to share faith and everything. So I advise him to still be in the scheme.
Okay, Nii Noi, I don't know if we have questions for Nii Noi.
Nobody has questions.
No, Kwame Dazi has a question for you.
I don't have a question. I have an opinion.
Oh, we thank God.
Okay, you have an opinion. Okay, feel free.
Later. Oh, so later when he's
later.
Gone.
Okay.
When he's gone.
Nii Noi, thanks a lot for joining us this morning.
I did just say, what's your English name?
Daniel. In the Lion's Den.
Daniel Slim.
Wow.
Yes.
Slim.
Wow, this is a new discovery. Yeah, you know so.
So no. So what are you driving at?
Oh no, I mean we are shocked. I mean, I don't know you're Daniel in the Lions Den.
There's a question for you from Adam.
Okay.
Come on, I'd agree.
I think I'm Adam.
Nice one. I mean, when I read your article, I saw a
Adam,
portion.
when you are done with the question, I will ask you a question. I want
okay, all right.
I get question for you.
It'd be cool. You know, you stated that you can't confirm or deny some assertions you've heard in town. I mean, but from your own perspective of the observations, I mean, and from the quarters you've associated yourself with in the gospel space, what do you think account for this lackadaisical attitude?
From who? Team Eternity?
Not Team Eternity, some gospel artists in general.
I don't think that majority of our gospel artists are behaving some way towards the awards. Over the years, you know how gospel artists have accepted the awards. It got to a year that people even thought that, I mean, TGMA is favoring the gospel too much. I mean, looking at from 2021 downwards when Dinah won the Artist of the Year, coming down to what PAC, the knockoff PAC with Black Sherif, that was a huge one. And I think last year too, gospel won a lot of awards. Not only the gospel artist, gospel song of the year, male vocal, and all of that. They won a lot of awards. So I think that looking at a whole, maybe it's one or two that I've still not seen the importance of the award scheme. That's why I am happy to come out to explain the importance of the scheme. And you see, the scheme is also not against gospel music. When you look at the scheme in the last decade or so, it's gospel music that's gotten another category. That's the best urban gospel song of the year. So when you look at the gospel categories, now it's 3 instead of 2. So I think that the scheme is also not against it. So it's just maybe some new ones that are coming in. We need to probably give this explanation to them for them to understand. Maybe it might be more educational than what we think. So it's good to come out with some of these education to make them understand the real purpose of the award scheme.
Nii Noi, thanks a lot for joining us this morning.
But it didn't make me ask them the question.
You want to ask Adam a question? Okay, feel free.
They threw the court paper where he brought the video. I wanted to ask a question, but it's okay.
Okay. They threw away the court paper
So
in
I
the video.
To ask.
Okay, we'll deal with that some other time, Nii Noi.
Okay, thank you very much, Daniel.
Enjoy your day, Daniel Nii Noi.
Dennis.
Some amount of Daniel. Say won't me choose the opera. Yeah, be more. We'll go give you some. Anyway, Nii Noi, waka sem ni na. But I don't know if elders, if you are okay with it. But I'll start with you, Kwame. Oh no, hold on. Ladies first.
What?
Ladies first.
Lady.
Manchester United, even
Anyway, so for me, going by what Mr. Nii Noi said, I don't have a problem with what he said. I mean, the award scheme has been very helpful to gospel artists. Won a couple of Artist of the Year awards, won a couple of Song of the Year awards, and sometimes the most electrifying performance during the awards night is gospel artists. They bring out, like, you see everybody singing, you see everybody standing, applauding and all that. So, I mean, evangelism is not a bad thing. So, for you to evangelize or use the opportunity to win souls at an award scheme, it's a good thing. So I agree with whatever he's saying. But if we are also going to go by what the rumors are swirling about it being a worldly award scheme and people not or men of God not wanting gospel artists to participate, would they also say the same thing if they win a Grammy award? Let's be honest, because we've had a lot of international gospel artists, and I think the Soweto Choir, I've forgotten their name.
Soweto Gospel Choir.
The Soweto Gospel Choir, yes, win a few awards, and I think there's this a cappella group too that has won a few Grammy awards, and it hasn't taken away from their evangelism. It hasn't taken away from the spirituality of their music and all that. So it's a bit sad if it is true. It is true. It is a bit sad that, a fantastic artist like Joe Mettle would be wanting to bow out of the award scheme that has, for one way or another, so it's quite sad. That's all I have to say. It's quite sad. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is that the decision lies on the artist. Whatever you feel like you can do to grow your spirituality, whatever you feel like you can do to grow your music, or you want a niche audience or a target audience specifically for your music, we can't say anything about it. It's just, kind of disheartening to hear stuff like that. But hey.
But Daughters of Glorious Jesus performed, right?
Exactly. Funny enough, the old heads are rather not really, they don't really care.
Yes. Upon their smartphone. We had Mami Tiwa.
Funny enough, they all come and then they come and give their support and go. So it's quite... isn't that bizarre?
What
I'm
really
sorry.
is the premise for this conclusion?
Yes.
What is the premise for the conclusion that gospel artists they show apathy towards the TGMA?
So the conclusion from my end, and I think I did a couple of.
What is the premise? Sorry.
Yeah, the premise. I did a couple of editorials on it, and number one, an artist like Joe Mettle, you could feel his involvement was quite low. His interest was quite low, and that can be felt through the number of times the artist is seen campaigning on social media and putting the works out there, telling people to vote for him or her and all that. I mean, for Joe, I can tell you that you can run through all his social media platforms and realize that it was quite zero. I think on Facebook that he posted one there about 1B, and then that was it. And I'm thinking if there's an award scheme like the BETs or the Grammys or any other international award scheme, and he had a nod in there, he had a nomination in there, I'm not sure that would be the approach. I'm sure he would go all out to amass, go all out to campaign for.
Can I ask a question?
Yes. MOG. He also got some nominations,
yeah.
Right? I've not checked on MOG, and I've not done analysis on his social media, so I can say less about him. But I also did analysis on Team Eternity, and if I say Joe Mettle was bad, Team Eternity was worse. So just imagine.
I honestly think Dennis Nii Noi should have gone straight to the point and mentioned Team Eternity. They are the people we are talking about here, because if you are doing a general analysis, the examples you stated to me is anecdotal because it doesn't represent the entire situation. I also saw a number of gospel artists, a lot, from the Copy Psalms to the...
Oh, yes, definitely.
So those that we think were not visible were just a minute percentage of the entire gospel population. If you're talking about...
But then there were fan favorites, though. The people who didn't participate much. Although, there were other gospel artists that were, garnering a bit of publicity. The people that I can say people were trying to see, the people who were fan favorites were the ones who were taking a step back. And isn't that
Did you see Sarkodie do much about about the TGMAs this time around?
No.
So
that's why he walked
this is
on with
not
zero.
a gospel issue.
Related.
But maybe too, he felt like
No,
this
I
year
understand.
wasn't his
I can see
year.
where you're.
I'm driving.
I see where
to
you're
a certain
going.
point.
Please move on. Move the
Some
car.
artists
Move
who
the
have
car
won a number of awards in the past, some of them have not lost interest, but they think, oh, I've won, let others win some. This same Joe Mettle we're talking about, 2017? 2017, when he won the Artist of the Year, did we see how visible he was in campaigning?
Exactly.
They were in the churches campaigning. Diana Hamilton,
Church to church.
they did a campaign.
She came down, I think 3 or 4 months
Yes.
before, and she campaigned
Yes.
heavily.
Yes.
We all saw it.
PSC Esther.
Hey! Radio station to radio station.
So let's not use this, some pockets of examples to generalize and make it seem that the gospel society or community, they are not.
I like what you are cooking.
They are not interested in the TGMAs. Team Eternity. You Nii Noi, you are very close to them. This advice you are giving, did you give to them in private? Say, interested.
What if he did?
I'm asking, did he do that? Because this story that is out creates the impression that the gospel music industry is not interested in the TGMAs, which is not true. It is not true.
Can I ask my question now?
I know me so.
Oh no, I do so.
And
You have the floor.
me ko baby.
No, drive it. Drive the car.
You drive it.
You drive
when
the
you are
car.
done, I'll ask a question.
Good.
Before Edem, because I know you take the rest
So
of the time.
what I am saying is that if we limit or if we generalize this situation,
They were not being fair.
we're not being fair, because the gospel musicians that I know were posting on social media.
They were even posting on their WhatsApp.
they
Kobe
outweigh
Sam.
those who are not
Yes.
visible.
Yes.
Apart from that, we've been made to understand that this whole gospel music thing is spiritually driven. Almost say, I heard the voice of God. Even in their business decisions, they will tell you that, oh, if God says I should do this, I will do that. If God says I should partner with this company, I will do it. So, for all you know, to eternity, God has spoken to them. I said, "Mema eternity for
Remember Moon Koha.
Mamu you so TGM fan we need souls and yaho na mesuma mo se monko.
Come on.
Momfa mo ni nche baby fufuro."
Okay.
So we can't force them too much. If God has spoken to them that they shouldn't use TGMA to win souls, who am I? Whom am I?
Mamai. Mamai.
This is a serious issue. Let's get serious. Team Eternity can decide not to be part of the TGMAs. It is their right, their decision. It doesn't mean they can't win souls for Christ. Maybe they have other avenues, other audiences that they intend to use to win souls for Christ. Let's leave this at that. But if you are an individual, you are close to them, and you want to advise them, like Nii Noi, catch mo pain, what's in the pain, because you when him said Team Eternity. That's advice. They can take it or leave it if he has not done that yet. But I think that the story that was published looked a bit generalized, and that is not healthy for the industry.
Okay.
Can I ask the question now?
Feel free.
Good.
Before I get to Adam.
All right. So before I start the question, I have to put out the disclaimer that I cannot speak for Joe Mettle.
Okay.
Because I mean, I am not part of his team. I don't know exactly his
Unrelated.
Reasons. Yes, his reasons for not participating again, like his decision for not re-participating in the Ghana Music Awards. But then could it also be that, he has a streak of winning like Artist of the Year, and other prominent categories. Immediately you mention his name, it's like people on social media, other musicians come at him and they're like, is he the one who owns the award scheme? He just comes under fire because it's like they feel there's this tag that, he has people in there that make sure he wins. You understand me? So if he takes a step back, it is probably because he wants to, hey, I don't want it to look like I own the scheme or anything. So let me tell you, it's probably not spiritually related.
But I don't hear people say the same for Stonebwoy, who's taking the reggae and dancehall artist for 10 times. I
Yes,
don't.
for just
You as a force, but saying minimum crown and corridor. God is love.
you,
God is unity.
You.
Yes.
Nii Noi is attacking me. Nii Noi, stop attacking me. Nii Noi, you are attacking me. I'll report you to the police.
Daniel Dennis Nii Noi.
He's attacking me.
Anyway, Adam, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much.
Today we've given you the full yard. Sport there.
I believe that over the years, a couple of them, if you put them on the scale, majority of them have shown that enthusiasm to belong to the scheme, and I mean do whatever it takes to take their brand to the next level. It's been one or two who have, I mean, shown that indifference with regards to the scheme, and I'm sure that it stemmed from something which is peculiar to them, and it will be they themselves will be the right people to tell us why. I want to believe that something has happened somewhere, and it's more, I see it's like it's looking like they and the platform more than the benefits of the platform. So those who are close to them need to drum home more of the importance of the platform than for them to appreciate that and look beyond their personal difference. If there is any sort of challenge between them and Charterhouse, I mean, they need to look beyond that and look at how they can take advantage of the scheme to further better their brand, because they are still an emerging brand. There has been emerging brands who have been overtaken by other emerging brands like who have the same trait. You know, you need things like the TGMA to be able to create that differentiation factor around your brand, to be able to build the myth, to be able to, I mean, have that validation, aside that, to be able to add more value to your brand. And by so doing, you are making your brand a top of mind brand and a brand which will be able to stand the test of time. So if there are some of these opportunities which you are overlooking, if you are not careful and some other emerging brand like you comes to take those advantage, they will be able to solidify themselves and make themselves top of mind than you. You understand? Because, I mean, the music is an ecosystem, and all the ecosystem, they have their roles they played. I mean, like Joe Metal, the other time he was talking about looking to retire in the future, he also talked about how the scheme changed everything for him.
Yeah.
And that fact cannot be contested. You know, when he first won the Artist of the Year, it propelled him, the value addition and the differentiation factor it brought about the brand and the endorsement thereof were is unmeasurable. And Dynamo Hamilton, I mean, the comeback, I mean, PACA, it has a huge role it plays in that ecosystem, and that role must be respected by those who are key stakeholders in the space. So I want to urge them. I want to believe there is something between they and the scheme. However, if that thing exists, I want them to look beyond that and look at what it brings to them. Because, I mean, that platform would have done a lot for up to now. You know, there was a lady who, when this lady, Rosin Felly, was going to receive the award on their behalf, there was a lady who was watching her somewhere, people are still asking, is she a member? Is she not a member? I mean, they need a lot of these things to be able to project some of their members, because, I mean, branding is, all of these platforms are important highlights for brands. And as a brand which is emerging, some of these opportunities must not be downplayed. Just take it up on the night. If some of their leading members had stepped on the stage to pick some of their awards, look at the photo and video opportunities they would have had and the highlights it would have given those.
It is the lukewarm attitude that is surprising. If, assuming the Holy Ghost has told you not to be involved in the TGMA, how did you get into the nomination?
Exactly.
You file, because some of the categories should be filed.
At what point did they lose interest in the TGMA? They filed, though.
Before the filing.
Because they filed.
Did they yeah.
And they took the award.
Sometimes you can do something and then.
And yes, if you want it, go for. If you don't want it, just leave TGMA alone, and tell God, "Oh God, what's it mean? TGMA."
So some of the rumors.
Okay,
so some of the rumors. That is why I asked Nii Noi the first question. So the first question was to establish the type of relationship that he has with them. So if he's that close to give us more details on the rumors, because the rumor number one
is not allowed because it's not a management member.
So rumor number one is that there seems to be some form of conflict between the members of the team.
Oh, okay.
And some want to perform, some don't want to perform.
Okay.
Are they a church group under one? Are they a gospel group under one church?
No.
I do
selected
not have
individuals from different
churches or different choirs,
institutions, and all that.
Okay.
Handpicked from different places.
Okay.
So they are a fantastic group.
Okay.
I mean, they are doing very well. They need to look at the other parts which also propel their brand and give it that honor it deserves. And I'm sure it'll be fine for them. I mean, so kudos to Eternity for that amazing work throughout the year. I mean, that work was evident in the number of nominations they had.
Yeah.
And also to Joe Metal, some of these criticism, feedback, backlash will come, but it should not. I feel like he's allowed those things to get him too much. To even say that, like 2-3 years ago or so, he nearly like pulled up. I mean, he shouldn't. If you are doing the work and those things which are related to the reward system are in place for you, don't mind what people are saying. Just keep on being you. Keep on doing the work. Let the schemes or the systems pick you, project you. Forget about what those people will say. Whether you don't deserve, that conversation will come. So he shouldn't. But
we can't say for a fact
that plans he's harboring.
We can't say for a fact that is what Joe Metal is thinking.
He said it.
Oh, he said it.
Oh yeah, and
he believes he's pulling out. No, he's pulling out because.
Did he say he's retiring from the scheme because of that?
Not because, but he said one of the reasons for, how why he looks unconcerned. He said, like any other individual, like you do something and it's like organizational inertia sensing. Like you don't feel motivated to like go all out, like campaigning and those things you used to do in the past. That is what he was trying to, put across, that at this point he cannot do all he used to do in those times again, because focus change and other things, direction, and so it's not a problem with the scheme, but he himself feels like he's gotten to a point that some of the things he would have done in the past, campaign for votes and others, he's gotten to a point that he doesn't feel the edge or the need.
Okay.
So, but certainly those things too,
you are trying to read meanings into it. At this point, then you're trying to.
There are also times that an artist will release songs, and when the nomination comes out, clearly seeing the other contenders, you see you don't have a chance. and so you don't even want to
waste
time, resources to campaign for votes because while we kuku dam no more nominations anymore. Charlie,
really, Joe Metal?
I'm saying there are times. I'm saying there are times that when you see the people in the nomination list, you look at the weight, you look at your performance, you think this one I should even waste my time. There are times like that. There are times that you feel no, this one I have a chance to compete, and then you go all out for it. So maybe all these are factors, but Charlie, he can decide not to be part. Who force him? Nobody can force him to be part of it.
Okay.
Also because he is a man of God. He's listening to the voice of God.
Maybe he has divine direction.
From God's direction.
No, divine direction.
Divine, okay.
Yes, divine direction.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whom am I?
Whom am you?
Whom am I?
Whom is you?
To tell you not to respond to that voice. Anyway, still here on Daybreakhitz on Hits 103.9 Showbiz Review, proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phone papa fee and Betway. You always get way more with Betway. Now, lawyer Bobby Banson has this advice for creatives, and he's saying don't rely solely on artificial intelligence. You people that rely on that, in fact, lawyer Bobby Banson is saying cool down a little bit. Now, lawyer Bobby Banson is a lawyer with an interest in copyright matters. He has advised persons in the creative arts industry to manage their reliance on the use of artificial intelligence. Now, speaking during a discussion on how creatives can leverage AI to enhance productivity, lawyer Bobby Banson told Kwame Dadzi on Joy FM Showbiz A to Z that in as much as the new technology will benefit the creatives in their work, they should desist from over-reliance on the tool. He said that AI is supposed to complement your creativity. It is not supposed to be the mainstay of your work now. So don't rely on AI alone, because the truth is that I hear the concept that technology has come to stay, but there is no technology that has remained stagnant. It moves on. The person who thought the normal cameras would last forever now has to deal with mobile phones. Talking about how copyright laws apply to the use of AI, Bobby stated that plans are still undergoing and the world over to have legislation that addresses AI and its place in intellectual property laws. This is deep. This is quite extensive. But Kwame, as you sat down with him, what was the driving force for this one?
So we were looking at how we can leverage AI to help our creative works as radio people, media people, as creatives, as musicians, filmmakers, painters, designers, architects, poets, comedians. And then he was advising the creatives that in as much as we all know that you can use AI to help your work, don't rely on it too much, because the efficiency level is not 100%. There's always the need to have a human touch to the work that you're doing. So yes, Oscars have allowed films done with AI to a certain degree to be nominated in the award scheme, but they also consider a certain amount of human touch to it. So basically his advice is that let's have that human aspect to the technology that we are using. Don't rely on it totally like that. So nowadays when you see the PR people share articles with you and the language of and some of them don't even know how to prompt these AI tools.
Just GPT.
Yes, and so you see words like tapestry, plenty in the write-up. Some people, they will say, Adam is not just a journalist, he is a force to reckon with. The next story, DJ Slim is not just a DJ. Or he said, DJ Slim is more than a DJ. And the language is so similar. Sometimes also because the person issuing the prompt is not experienced writer. Sometimes how experienced you are in your field determines the input, the prompt you give to the AI tool to give you the feedback. So it is a very complex thing. And I believe that in as much as this is here to help our work as creatives, we need not rely on it 100%, totally. There should be that human touch to it. So for example, if I use AI to generate a script, I will try to go through it again and try to give it a human touch. I know most people do that. So basically, that was what Bobby Banson was advising.
Okay. What do you have to say to that, Adam? Adam, you write for
two newspapers.
Two newspapers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you employ the AI in your?
I don't remember. I mean, in my right types are natural. I don't, because I mean it's something I've done over the years. So it comes natural.
You are too old school, conservative.
It comes natural. I mean, but I mean AIs at times could help in research among others, but not to write the whole story. So there should be a limit to the use. You understand? So that, because don't also forget that it's also part of training of the mind. If you are not careful and you train your mind that way, that it always has to rely on such support, you'll get to a point that it will be difficult for you to, I mean, you make your mind, the brain look lazy. You understand? So you need to, and it's part of the exercise of the brain. You need to exercise the brain so that the brain does a lot of work. Use it well, don't overuse it. A draw cry, Emma Honting and a Saya, they write that you don't have to overdose of it, could lead to certain. That's why they will prescribe 1 morning, 1 afternoon, 1 evening, so that you do not abuse it. Abuse of anything, any process is bad. So that is what I pick from it. Let's not abuse it.
Okay. Ria.
Yes, I mean, I think my colleagues here have actually said it all. Like, it's not supposed to be abused. The key word is abuse, because I remember my professor once told me that AI is meant to help. It's not meant to perform the task. All right. So if, for me, I'm a slow reader. I've used AI several times. Mm-hmm. For me, although I love to read, I'm a slow reader. So I have an AI app on my phone that helps me to read. Okay. So it narrates. It's like the same technology for audiobooks. Okay. Yes.
So it reads.
Yes, in the form of documentary. Wow. Yes, it reads to me, and that's what helped me pass my term papers and all that. Yes. So you could see me lying in my bed. You think I'm listening to music, but I'm listening. I'm literally listening to. You just upload the articles and texts to the app. Wow. And it's just going to read it to you. So yes, it even teaches you the English that you want to hear it, and if it is
American is British.
The British English, American English, and all that.
Togo English.
Yes, exactly. So it helps you with even your slides. All right. So I mean, AI has come to help, especially students and creatives. It has helped us, go a very long way, because I feel like even the people who invented AI would even want some. More of some originality in your work if you are presenting your work. So if everything is AI, it's going to be like a pandemic, like the way we had the auto-tune. Now we didn't know the musicians that sounded good and those who sounded bad and those who were, So yes, I feel like a lot of lazy people are using it to perform tasks instead of using it to assist them. Because for a writer, if you're experiencing writer's block, all right, and you can't seem to phrase your sentences right or your paragraphs right, it's good to go to AI to see what type of grammatical errors you are making and all that, so that you can rephrase. There are people who use AI I've used AI for research before, but then I look at what the AI is saying, then I coin it and put it in my own words, so that if I present it in, turn it in, it doesn't,
turn it out for you.
Yeah, no. In turn it in, I don't, turn it in, right?
Cut and paste.
Yes, it doesn't seem like I have plagiarized.
Cut and paste.
Now most people in academia, they all have these AI tools, because it looks like students are using it a lot.
Yeah.
So, hey, use it to help you, but don't rely on it too much. Otherwise, it makes you lazy, and it takes away from your originality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, why? What's that page?
2nd August.
Okay.
What's that page?
2nd August.
Finish.
2nd August.
2nd August.
2nd August.
Not 2nd August. It's
2nd August.
Actually 29th May. I'm inviting you to church.
So before 2nd August.
Rain House Chapel.
Okay.
MOG will be there. Kofi Supepra. when Prophet Eric Boahin
What is happening?
coming away with velocity. It's going to be amazing.
Why-
And I'm
why-
inviting you all.
Why are you guys
come
scared
to church?
say what's going to happen on second?
2nd August.
Why are you hustling?
2nd August.
Prophet
Why you
Eric
guys-
Boahin.
2nd August.
Oh,
2nd August.
Assembly.
2nd
Assembly.
August.
But why is he bullying me?
But why,
Ade.
why is he pulling that?
I don't know.
But why? What kind
We are
of
live on Facebook. We are live on
What kind
Facebook.
of-
Come and
And
see.
then
What is
Benson-
that? Okay, so on 2nd August,
what is happening?
on 2nd August,
Is he
Mr.
getting an
Ede-
appointment?
no, it's not an
2nd
appointment.
August.
It's not an appointment. You
But what
see,
is happening?
when you were a bachelor,
What is happening?
when you were a bachelor in this,
But why has he left the studio?
On Saturday,
Uh-huh.
we are all marching to the Aviation Social Center.
Studio hang any day.
Obaku Juani. Ojuani.
Duani.
Ojuani.
FM rep your jersey. Now you know the funny thing. This morning when I came to work, I was already buying money.
Yeah, I was about to say, oh, numbers, how you they get all the jerseys? We
I
don't get
have,
some.
I have more than enough jerseys, so I can decide to change every hour.
And this is supposed to be
Manchester
AC
United.
Milan.
Yes.
Okay.
embarrassment.
Okay.
So that's what's going to happen on Saturday.
Okay.
Come and represent in the jersey of the team that you support. 10 a.m. sharp, we are there.
Okay.
What
When
if
you
you're
see
embarrassed
me-
about your team?
Please don't be embarrassed about your team. Wear the jersey
proud
of
of
the
your
team
team.
that you
Be
support.
proud of
If
your
you're a
team.
Man United fan
Just wait.
and you come there without wearing the Man U jersey, we will strip you off the one you are wearing and give you a Man U jersey to wear.
Allah.
Or Slim, you don't agree with me?
Talk to her.
100%.
Yeah.
You mean
I
you will
support
strip-
that.
Hey, who said I'm a Man U
We are-
fan?
You
Who
will
said
say-
I'm a Man U fan?
Or
You said
watch
that.
his wear and give you a Man U jersey.
Who said I'm a Man U
Watch
fan?
his wearing. Yes.
You mean strip?
No,
Yes.
you know I'm inviting Mr. Entry. So
Who is
Mr.
Mr.
Entry
Entry?
Will
do
help
that
in the
too.
stripping.
Yes.
Who's Mr. Entry?
Rhea's husband will do that on my
Who?
behalf.
Married me?
Adam.
On the 2nd of August.
Second.
Yes.
So 2nd of
Adam,
August.
stop
eh,
pulling my trousers. Whatever you do, we are going to talk about it.
2nd of August, like it's a very prestigious day for my
How
brother.
many months? How many months more to 2nd August? We are in, okay. May is almost ending. So,
Yes.
June, July.
Oh.
So we have 2 months.
2 months.
Two months in between.
Yes.
And then what's the dress code?
Is he having a party?
No, it seems like it's
his
a very.
birthday.
Is it?
Is he doing R&Q? Black Star Square?
Speaking to the mic.
Speaking to the mic.
Obesu ashen you.
All of a sudden,
Speaking to the mic.
Okasa Krema.
Obesu.
Your sign language. Anyway, thank you.
Today the settings is not. It's not settings.
It's not setting.